Good morning, one and all. Myself, Nikhila Tomy, faculty member, Department of Management Studies. I will be hosting the program today. So let us start today's session with a silent prayer. Once again, good morning, everyone. Now I would like to invite our head of the department, Srimati V Bavisree, for delivering the welcome speech. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning all. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Abhilash Ramachandra Sir, Principal Sister Dr. Magie Jose, participants and faculty members. Ability is what you are capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. Attitude determines how well you do it. The Department of Management Studies is organizing an international webinar on the topic Prepare for the Future Careers. Today, we have our resource person, Sri Abhilash Ramachandra Sir, Senior Sales Operation Manager at IBM Singapore. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Next, I would like to welcome our pillar of strength, Principal Sister Dr. Magie Jose. We welcome you, sister, in her absence. Last but not the least, I welcome all the participants and faculty members to our international webinar. I wish all of you this section will be a fruitful one to all of you. Thank you.
So, shall I start?
No, sir, 1 minute.
Okay, you let me know.
Okay. So, as Bavisree ma'am already said, our topic of the day is prepare for the future careers. And the speaker of the day is an outstanding personality, Sri Abhilash Ramachandran, Senior Sales Operations Manager, IBM Singapore. We welcome you, sir, once again. So, before we get started, let us have a look at his profile. So, I invite Srimati Pesi Devasikuti, faculty member, Department of Management Studies, for delivering the profile.
Abhilash Ramachandran as a seasoned senior sales operations manager, having served with large enterprises like IBM and Sun Microsoft System in the career spanning of 2 decades. He did his BTech from the Government Engineering College of Thrissur and MBA in marketing from Pune University. And his career, he executed in various roles, and he was a programmer on many frames and set up large offshore teams of 100 members, and he supported operation sides of many business. Once again, we welcome you, sir, to the session.
Thank
sir,
you.
Okay, sir, can we begin?
Yeah, so will someone share the screen or should I share the screen?
You can share.
The presentation.
If you are okay, you can share the screen.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
There seems to be some issues.
Okay.
Can somebody do it from your end? I will try.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will.
It says it needs some kind of a screen recording permission.
Okay. I will share, sir.
Sure. Either sheet share ചെയ്താണ് the first page. Anyway, in the meantime, I'll start off, just giving a small intro of myself. In 1990, I joined Government Engineering College, Thrissur. Okay, and then 95 to 97, I did my MBA in Pune University, and then took my first job as a programmer. Mainframe എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു സിസ്റ്റം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. I'm not sure if any of you have heard, but since not a lot of you come from technical background, the chances are less. So I did mainframe programming in a company in Pune. Then I worked with Sun Microsystems in Singapore, and in India I worked with IBM, and again came back to Singapore recently 2 years back, and continued with IBM. Okay, so that is my career in a small nutshell. Right. So it is my privilege to be here with all of you, students, the teacher, the faculty, the principal of St. Mary's College. Thank you all so much for having me here. I will try to keep this discussion very short, and let's see if we have time for questions. Okay. The idea here is to introduce all of you to what are the possibilities. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is because I've got the privilege or the opportunity to see the world and see what all are possible in the world in terms of what are the careers possible, what are the new industries which are coming up, etc. I'll try to give you a glimpse of the upcoming industries, the career opportunities in these industries, and how your skills you should think of when you say, I want to choose a career down the line. Okay. And we will also have probably time for some questions. Is that fair assumption?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, then with that, let's start off, guys. This is the presentation, first page. Let's see how you can prepare for future careers. Okay, step by step approach. You can see the step 1 to probably step 6 or so, and we will go through this journey together, and we will go quickly through this journey. Let's go to page number 2, ma'am. Okay, so the very first thing, right, when we think of a job, you should have heard people saying, follow your passion, follow your passion. So my take is slightly different. Okay, you should identify your strengths, your skills, your passion, but when it comes for a job, it is good to follow the money. So you should know where the money is and plan your career accordingly. So the background I have about all of you is that you're all BBA students. BBA in the business students, right? And business is about making money, right? Let's keep it short and clear. It is a capitalistic environment, and people who take BBA are interested in business, and businesses are run not for charity, but for making money. Like even a college is run, a university is run, every single business unit is run for one purpose, and that is for profit maximization. So when you also choose a career, you should look at your passions and see where are these passions, strengths, skills, where can these be applied to maximize money in terms of which career I should choose. So you went through, madam had shared a list of questions and you did a survey. When I went through it, I was very happy to note that many people were looking for private enterprises, many were looking for public government jobs, Many were looking to start their own business. Some of them wanted to join the army, navy, etc. So it's a very good mix of students that we have got here. And interestingly, Endamolum, she is doing her first year BBA. So this interaction is very enlivening for me. ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ ഈ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ എൻ്റെ മോൾക്കും കൊടുത്തു, telling her this is what I plan to share with all of you, and she said yes, this is useful. So I had her confirmation before I came here. I checked with some more students at home. So first point, identify your skills and follow the money, not your passion. Don't follow your passion. Passion you can follow as, say, I am interested in dance, I am interested in singing, these are my passions and skills. Yeah, you should cultivate them, you should continue to cultivate them your life, because money is not everything, right? But when you talk about business, when you talk about a job, you're doing because you need the money, right? But passion is for the love of that, the art of it, right? Mostly, right? There are times when your passion can give you money, there are times when your passion cannot give you the money, okay? And these things you need to understand right up front, that my passion may or may not give me the money, right? So if the passion gives you money, well and good. If not, look for what can give you the money and where probably part of your skills can be adapted to that role. Second, third slide, ma'am. Now, when you have passions, you still have to have some role model for you to look at, to learn how the expert does the job, right? So, survey most of the people said their parents, their mother, their relatives, etc. were their inspiration. Some people talked about Abdul Kalam and others. So these are all also wonderful role models. So now, once you choose which area you want to focus on, say, BBA കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് MBA, say marketing എടുക്കാൻ പോകുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ say finance, HR, information systems, etc., etc., right? So once you set your eyes on your goal and where you want to take your career, try to find some inspirational leaders who can guide you in that direction. So we can also share the fourth slide, ma'am, at this stage. Where in the fourth slide, I have spoken about who are my inspiration. So some of my heroes who I follow, who are ladies, especially since this is a girls' college, I thought I should bring up ladies who are been my heroes, who I've been following, etc. So I want you guys to tell me, do you know anybody in this picture? The last രണ്ടുപേരെ വിട്ടിട്ട്, right? Most people know Sushma Swaraj and Mithali Raj, but do any of you know the others? So okay, let me explain. Sheryl Sandberg was the number 2 at Facebook. Right? നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും എന്നും പോകുന്ന ഒരു വെബ്സൈറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്. I don't know if this generation probably Instagramലും WhatsAppലും ഉണ്ടോ ആയിരിക്കും കൂടുതൽ, but there is one website which has got the maximum hits on a daily basis. Millions of people visit, which is Facebook, right? Facebook, when it was set up, she was number 2 after Mark Zuckerberg. Sheryl Sandberg was the chief operating officer of Facebook, and she has written many books as well, which are inspirational for especially women who are working. Cathy Wood is an investment വലിയ പേരെടുത്ത ഒരാളാണ് Cathy Wood. She runs an investment company called ARK Invest. Okay, then Aung San Suu Kyi, you will all know. Indra Nooyi was the CEO for Pepsi. So these are great ladies who you can look up to, and I'm not saying you should only look up at ladies. Look at people who have made their mark in certain fields and see how their thought process is, what their strengths are, etc. Okay, so this will help you and inspire you to become like them, because we all need an ideal. Okay, ഇതുവരെ ആരും ചെയ്യാത്തൊരു കാര്യമാകുമ്പോൾ we are probably not confident enough, but when we see that people have done it before us, there are achievers who have set the path, it becomes easier for us to follow them. So this is the first step in our career decision making. Be inspired by legends. So that's why I put this chart up here. Okay, now quickly let's go to the next chart, ma'am. Chart number 5. So by now I know my skills, I know where I can take inspiration from, and now I have to know, as a student who is going to start my career in the next couple of years, I have to know what are the emerging trends, right? പുതുതായിട്ട് മാർക്കറ്റിൽ വരുന്നത് എന്താണ് കാര്യങ്ങൾ, because whatever comes new grows faster, right? Already existing trends will slowly die down. എല്ലാത്തിനും ഒരു സൈക്കിൾ ഉണ്ട്, ലൈഫ് സൈക്കിൾ എന്ന് പറയും. So something that is new has a longer life, so it can last your career for most part of your career. So if it's something new and you're starting your career now, probably makes sense to move in that field. That is why you need to understand what are the emerging trends. So with that, we can go to chart number 6. Yeah, chart number 6, please. Okay, so these are the industries which are going to come up, or there is going to be a huge change in the way things are being done, right? One is veganism. Since veganism is catching up as a trend, there are many more food companies which are focusing in this area on how can I. So in the Ravale, I was looking at a certain website, and there I saw that KitKat has come with a vegan option. KitKat chocolate vegan option on it. So veganism, now there is something called mock meat. Mock meat, they make meat look alike or feel alike, taste alike food with vegetables, say pea protein, soy protein, they're coming up in that area. One of the big companies there is called Beyond Meat, and American company is becoming big in that space. Tyson boxer and Tyson, he was very famous in our time. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about him. Mike Tyson has come up with a vegan company, etc. So veganism is a growing trend in today's world. In a personal and beauty care, logistics, Amazon Amazon is an example for a huge logistics company. So what we see is selling. It's a storefront, and I can go there and I can order and I can buy. But behind this ordering and buying, there is a lot of logistics effort that takes place in terms of production, moving products from location A to location B, storing these products. Some need cold storage, some needs a certain other temperature to sustain for a longer time. So how does logistics work? And logistics is going to be huge in India, because now taxes ella state same aaki kazhinju. So now what happens is a lot of things can move across states without much difficulty, and there can be logistical units in the borders of various states where we can cater to different states. So if you have huge land, any of you, and you can convert it into a warehouse, that's probably a good business you can think about. Okay. Space travel. So there are many companies coming up with allowing people to go to space, probably stay there in space for a couple of days and come back. So that's also a trend which is catching up now. ടെസ്ലയുടെ റോക്കറ്റ്സിനെ പറ്റിയിട്ടൊക്കെ വായിച്ചു കാണും. So they are planning to get into that space. Okay. Then healthcare, cancer treatment, okay, they're looking at say for example today cancer vannadinu shesham you will try to treat it with various things. Now what they're trying to do is trying to catch cancer before it even appears fully in the body and try to take the cell out at the very beginning. So proactive treatment for cancer using DNA and genome capabilities in medical field. E-vehicles, autonomous vehicles is another thing. Sports, ipo nammude IPL has become very famous alle aduvole many more sports will come at that level, which is going to be huge, right? Like IPL we will have kabaddi and basketball varum, badminton varum, elladum aa oru level like neenga thodangum, where we have international stars coming into India and having larger teams set up and a whole lot of management around sports. So they will need a lot of management people to take care of the finances, the HR, the recruitment, all those things. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Robotics, that is another big field which is common and it's still growing. It just started the growth in that area. Communications, media, movies, there will be a lot of change with newer technologies coming up, newer players coming up, India opening up to international players, opening up to many new platforms, even Netflix, Disney, Roku, and various other platforms which are coming up will definitely hit India, and there's going to be a lot of jobs coming up in that area as well. Then banking and finance. നമ്മൾ പണ്ട് ഒരുമാതിരി എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയും ബാങ്കിൽ പോയിരുന്നു in my generation, right, to withdraw money, to deposit money for something or other. But in today's generation we don't have to go to the bank. Everything is on our mobile phone. പേയ്മെന്റിന് പോലും cash withdrawal പോലും നിന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞു. And all transactions are happening digitally now. There is digital wallets, digital banks, and today Singapore the first all digital bank has been kind of sanctioned in Singapore. So there is no branch, there is no office, there's nothing. There is just a bank on the internet, and that's all, and on your mobile phone. So banking and finance is going to take a huge major changes are coming in that space. So again, all thanks to technology and how we are all being, we are being able to adapt to technology thanks to the mobile phones for that. And technology side, pure technology, say IBM is a technology company, or Wipro, Infosys are all technology implementation companies, right? They're doing a lot in the technology space in terms of big data analytics, in terms of cloud and cloud implementation, in terms of AI, and pala areas they're trying to figure out newer and better ways of doing your job. And agriculture is another huge place where you can see drones coming in and various other aspects in terms of Internet of Things. This is probably a word you can note down and search and find out what it is. I'll not get into the details. Internet of Things, IoT, is something that's coming up in the in that field as well. Not only agriculture, but various applications in the industry, Internet of Things. So look out for all these upcoming industries and what changes are coming there. And with that, we can go to probably the next chart, where I will describe on, okay, these are the industries, fine, but what can I do in these industries? The logical next question, right? So let's go to the next chart, ma'am. Okay, I want to just take a small break here and ask you if you're able to follow me. Am I speaking too fast? Am I speaking things you're not able to understand? Are you able to follow me? അതൊന്നും അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. Please give me some feedback. Yeah, you can send a message. I just want to know, ഞാനിങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞു പോകുന്നുണ്ട്, ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടോ എന്ന് അറിയണം. Okay, Jino. Okay, Sanarthi. Thank you, girls. So good. Okay, at least you are able to. Christine, thank you. You are able to follow me. Wonderful. Abhirami, thanks a lot. Josie, acknowledge. Okay. So excellent. So what we covered so far is, one, understand yourself, understand your capabilities, get some inspiration from people who are around you in this world who have made their mark. Okay. And which are the industries that are growing. Okay, now that I know my strengths, I know where I should look for jobs, right? One, I know myself. I know some people who are great, who can be an inspiration for me. I know where to look for jobs. അതാണ് ഇതുവരെ നമ്മൾ കവർ ചെയ്തത്. Which are the growing industries? Next is, okay, I know these three things, but what job will I do? I am a BBA, or I am an MBA, or whatever my background. What is the job a BBA can do in the industry? Okay. So let's go to next chart, ma'am. Okay. Right. So what is happening during our learning process is, we are a work in progress. നേരത്തെ ചാർട്ടിലെ പോട്ടറിന്റെ കൈയുണ്ട്. So he's preparing a shape and helping you develop. So your teachers, your institution are helping you develop those capabilities so that you are ready for your job, for the roles. So in this picture, you can see those spots which are ready for the purpose they are meant, right? So what are the typical roles in any organization? I mean, probably 9 roles I've given. This is not a completely inclusive list of all the roles. There are many more jobs available, but this is at a high level, the main activities in any organization. Okay. So any organization which is a business, even business island, even if it is an NGO, they still need to have sales, right? Even if it is a government organization, say example BHEL or Indian Oil Corporation, right? All these companies or enterprises or corporations, they need to sell. That is the main activity. If you are not selling, you are not doing business, right? So everything is directed so that we can sell. And sales is nothing but understanding what the customer wants, where he wants, when he wants, how he wants, and then providing it to that customer. That's sales. Okay. Now, all the other roles in a company has to support sales, right? One is your first thing you do is your engineering or the production capability that you have, right? You have to produce or engineer your product, what you're going to sell. That's engineering in the duty, right? Once you have your product, then you have to market it. You have to make advertisements, you have to make events, you have to let people know that you have a product, right? That is the marketing part. But before production comes procurement, okay, mostly, because you need to know what is your input you need so that you can create your product, right? So procurement, so you want to buy cheap, good standard input products or inputs, no, I'm confusing and your output is your final product, right? Your procurement buys, say, raw steel rods, but your output could be a needle, it could be a nail, it could be a plier, right? So procurement buys, engineering produces, sales sell, right? And then in between, we have marketing, we have communication, we have operations, we have HR, we have MIS, we have finance. So now if my skill, say, I am good at, somebody said, in the group that I can talk a lot, right? So such people probably should try themselves in sales or marketing. Some people say, I'm very good with people. I'm very good with understanding and talking to, listening to people a lot. Such people should try in HR, human resources. So some people say, I'm very good with systems and numbers and analysis. Such people can look at MIS or Management Information System as a career. Now, some people say, I can prepare very creative content. Okay, such people should look at communications. Some people say, I'm very good at measuring the outcome of my business. I am very good with numbers. I can understand revenue, profit. I am very passionate about measuring and improving. Anganeyulla finance they can choose. And some people are like, okay, I can understand processes. Okay, how to sell. What are the steps to follow in selling? Once you make a sale contract, what are the processes you should follow to register and record the sales? And how can I, make a system which is easy to pull out and look at, okay, per renewal, software renew. How can I make a system that gets renewal automated? Operations people who understand processes and improve existing processes. That is operations, right? So you might have one of these capabilities or many of these capabilities naturally, or you might want to build those capabilities based on these roles. And once you say, okay, this is the industry, this is the role, what you should probably do is find a mentor for yourself, right? Find a mentor who is in that space and who can give you the right guidance in which direction to go, so that you can improve your capabilities in that space. So that's where we go to the next chart, which is chart number 9. Chart number 9, please, ma'am. Okay. Now, first question is, okay, sir, I understand. I have understood my capabilities. I have understood the trending industries. I have understood the job roles, and now I decided probably I should do marketing. Okay. Now I want to find a mentor who can help me in improving my marketing skills. Where do I go? How do I do that? Right. Especially if we are been in a location, things have changed a lot. When I was doing my degree in engineering and all, our exposure was very limited because internet was not there. That was a big problem. I don't know if it was a problem or an advantage, but depends on how you look at it. But from a career perspective, the amount of learning today is unlimited because of internet, the web, right? In those days, we had to find some book, or a business magazine or a business newspaper to learn something outside the textbook. Right? But today that is not the case. Today, if I want to find a mentor, I can straight away go on to LinkedIn and create an account and look at various people who are in various companies and connect with them. And it could be complete stranger, correct? A complete stranger in another part of the world. Indian then I call on that person, he or she might be somewhere in America, in Europe, in New Zealand, in Spain, wherever. You can reach out to them and say, hey, madam, please, hello, how are you? I'm a student here. I have seen your profile. I understand you are in marketing. I'm reaching out to you to know if you can be my mentor and I can learn a bit more in marketing from you. If you can share your experiences. No, you can reach out because LinkedIn is a professional network. Facebook is more of a personal network, but LinkedIn is a professional network where you can reach out to professionals. And if you are really driven, if you really want to take your game to the next level, you will do that and you will make the right contacts, and you will find a mentor out there who can guide you to the next level as you move towards a job. I'm not there yet. Can we go back to 9? Yeah, thank you. Okay. There are websites like Coursera and Udemy. Okay. These are websites where you can go, and even LinkedIn has something called LinkedIn Learning. I think it's a paid service in LinkedIn. Coursera and Udemy are again websites where you can pay and learn specific skills from teachers who are going to be very specialized in a certain topic. Say, example, photography is a topic. You can go and find a teacher in photography. They've already put their videos out there. You can take those assets, you can watch them, you can learn from those, you can ask questions to the teacher. Coursera, Udemy, etc. Now, for example, I wanted to learn stock trading and options trading. I went to Udemy and looked for various teachers and found one teacher probably who I'm more comfortable with. And then I signed up for his course and then I learned it. And I started trading, right? You don't become the expert overnight, but slowly you get a beginning and understanding on how to start, okay? And tomorrow's organizations, right, are going to tell you that, hey, look, I am not concerned if you have a university degree or not. Already, big companies, for example, IBM has started this, saying that we are not going to look for university degrees. We are going to look for your capability, your passion, and your interest in, say, for example, cloud technology, right, or analytics. So you need to prove to the world that you are passionate and you have gone yourself, you have studied, you have done your own projects. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis going forward on self-learning. Okay, so പണ്ടത്തെ നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പണ്ടത്തെ ഗുരുകുലം സ്റ്റൈലിലേക്ക് നീങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഇപ്പൊ കാര്യങ്ങൾ. So earlier we had very specialized teachers. ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ the way they taught is one teacher is expert in logic, another teacher is expert in poetry, another teacher was expert in physics, some was expert in astrology, somebody was expert in astronomy. So based on your interest, you would go stay with that teacher and you would learn what they have to teach you. So now what has happened is that is the future. If a university says there'll be an expert in, say, a certain topic in physics, say astrophysics, sitting out of a university in USA, and there'll be another teacher who is expert in autonomous cars sitting out of India, and there will be another teacher who's English poetry expert sitting out of England, right? And based on your interest, you will be the future of education, and the future of learning is going to come back to that Gurukulam style, but it's only going to be online. You don't need to go to an England or a USA or an Australia. You can sit at your home and you can listen to their lectures. You can ask questions, you can interact with them, and they will start giving degrees and certifications. That is where the future of education is going. And universities will become, colleges will become a thing of the past in a few more decades. The learning is now your own responsibility, and the internet is going to be your teacher. So prepare for that right now and start learning. Say somebody said, I want to do business. Actually, a poll, probably 20-30% students said, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a businesswoman. So my question to them is, what is stopping you from becoming a businesswoman today? What is stopping you? Sales is happening through the internet. You have a worldwide audience. There are websites like Shopify, there is Amazon. You just have to find your product and start selling. So the thing we always have in mind is, ഞാൻ ഡിഗ്രി കഴിഞ്ഞ് BBA കഴിഞ്ഞ് MBA കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എനിക്ക് ബിസിനസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂ എന്നൊരു ധാരണയുണ്ട് നമുക്ക്. But you have to challenge that mindset. There are no barriers today. All the barriers have been taken away by the internet. You can go on to YouTube and search, how can I start a business? And you will get 100 videos. Okay? And based on those videos, you can start your business with minimal capital. Because sadhana capital evideyan povunna business le, when you set up a shop. When you set up a shop, immediately you have to pay a rent for the shop. You have to pay electricity. You have to pay people to take care of the shop. You have to pay security, so many things. But the moment you go online and start selling on Amazon or Flipkart, for example, or set up your own website, right? There is a minimum rental that you have to pay for a website charges, right? That's all you have to pay. The barrier of entry is very low. And those who said that I want to be a business person, and if they have identified the product and the area they want to do business in, right? And I would say, even if you have not identified what you want to do business in, you still go online, you set up your shop and start selling. You go to your nearby shop, you buy from there and sell it online. It is a great teacher with minimum costs today. Start selling things online. Make some food product at home, sell it online. Or just say raw products also can be sold online. Try it. You should go out there and experience. The earlier you fail, life, the earlier you fail, and the more you fail, and the faster you fail, the faster you learn. Right? There is no way to learn something without failing so many times. Right? There are people who are very much against taking any kind of risk in their life. For them, there could be other kind of jobs. But those who said, I want to do business, you better start failing from today. Start experimenting, start failing, learn from the failure, launch your next product, fail, launch your next product, and read a lot and listen to a lot of lectures and learnings of other people, which can reduce the failures you have on your path to success, right? So do that, especially those who want to be entrepreneurs and business people. Now, with this learning, we go to the final point that I have. Chart 10, please. Improve communication. So most of us, okay, Kerala nu matralla, ഇന്ത്യയിൽ നിന്നും ഒരുമാതിരി വരുന്ന എല്ലാ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്സിൽ നിന്നും വരുന്ന നമുക്ക് ഒരു what you say, shyness and humility to talk, which is okay. It is not only in India, all Asian countries are typically people are little shy and humble when they communicate. One big reason is because English is not our language. Okay, it is a borrowed language and we have been taught വീട്ടിൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ഭാഷയല്ല. But that is fine. See, communication need not be being a talkative person. Sometimes people think I do not talk too much, so I cannot become a great leader. Not at all. Not at all. What matters is when you talk, you are able to talk logically, and the person who is hearing and listening to you is able to understand your message. That is all. You might think in Malayalam, talk in English, right? You might think in Malayalam, talk in Hindi. You might think in Hindi, talk in Malayalam. എങ്ങനെ വേണമെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യാം. പക്ഷെ English is only a language for communication. English is nothing great. Okay, നമ്മൾ വിചാരിക്കും ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് വലിയ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് വലിയ നമുക്കൊരു കോംപ്ലക്സ് ആണ് അത്. ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് അറിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ എനിക്ക് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്നുള്ള കോംപ്ലക്സ്. അതിന്റെ ആവശ്യമില്ല. നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചിന്തിച്ച് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ പതുക്കെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞ് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിവുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ that is called communication. You just need to be an expert in expressing the matter, giving the right emotion and making the other person understand what you're telling. Atrayullo communication. Don't think of it as a big problem. It is easy and it is possible for all of us. Okay, so once we have all these in our kitty, we are ready for any job. So to improve your communication, you should constantly read and listen and write and talk in English. Okay, these are things which is needed in this economy. And one more, and if you are capable of picking up any more languages, I would say the next biggest market, okay, since this is a BBA class and this is a business talk, the next biggest business is happening in China. So if you can get a Chinese teacher online, learn Chinese language from them, there is nothing like that, because English and Chinese is where most of the business happens between English speaking countries and Chinese speaking China. So this, and anyway, India has adopted English, so it's not going to be very difficult to do business in India unless you're targeting certain language belts. Say for example, Hindi speaking belt, you're targeting to sell your product, then it's good to have Hindi. Or if you're Northeast, probably the Northeast languages, or Karnataka interiors, like Kannada. So those languages you will know, because as Malayalis, we are very good at picking up the pulse of people and doing what is needed. We are not very rigid. We are pretty flexible people, and we are able to go with the flow of most cultures while keeping our identity. That is one strength that we have. Okay, now all that said and done, we'll go to the last slide before I close. Slide 11, please. So this is very important and a very interesting quote from Aung San Suu Kyi. She says, "You choose to do what you do, and you reap the fruits of your deeds." When she was asked about becoming the leader of her country in Myanmar, right? So she gave this quote, because she stood very strongly for democracy and democratic values. Now, what this also means is, One is what it says directly. I will do and I will get the results of what I do. The other part of it and the hidden part of it, or the secret part of this, is if you do not do, you should also be ready to accept the fruits of what you do not do, right? So, we have sometimes, some of us have this idea of complaining. Oh, I did not get this job, or I did not get as much marks as I wanted, or I did not get this, I did not get that. Why? Because my mother is responsible, my father is responsible, my grandfather is responsible, my friends are responsible, everybody but I am responsible, right, for what happened. What this quote says is the only responsibility lies in your own hands. It is your karma or your action or your inaction that you are going to enjoy or you are going to suffer. So be open to take that responsibility of your action or inaction, and don't, always don't compare with people around you on where they have reached, where I have not reached. You go on your own journey and be happy with that, right? But put your efforts in the direction that you want to achieve, right? So I can have, say, be a great sports person. I will put my energy there. But my people who studied with me today, they will say, hey, I want to be a MD in a private institute. They will put their effort there. Someone else will say, I want to be a teacher. Someone else will say, I want to be a businessman. So each one of you choose your path and put your effort. And don't do it just because your friend is doing it. Many times it happens, which is also natural at every age. Okay, my friend is doing this, I should also do this, right? That is fine, but not from a competitive perspective. But you should also keep searching yourself and say, hey, do I have the capabilities? Do I have the nature and the skills, or can I develop the skills if I put effort, before you take that decision? So your career is right now open. It's like a white canvas open in front of you. You can draw whatever picture you want, and you're going to be the heroine in that movie, in that painting that you're going to draw for yourself. Okay, and I wish you good luck in that journey. Thank you, everybody. Now I think I took more than half an hour then, So let me know if you have any questions and we can discuss from there. You can type your questions if you want, and probably then share the screen. Thanks, Archana. Thanks, Gino. So, ma'am, any other words of wisdom? Abhirami, thank you. Ashwati is asking me about my role model. And like many of you, I also have many role models. Like, for example, my father could be my role model when it comes to leading a disciplined life. My wife could be my role model when it comes to keeping the effort on and doing things as decided, keeping and sticking to a plan. And then I have, all the ladies which I showed in one of those slides, slide number 4, they're all my role models. Then who else? I think especially, if you look at that, there's a lady, one of my interests, okay, is to, today, even today, if you ask me, one of my interests is to become investor, stock investor, stock a person who understands the market, etc. So I follow this lady who's there on the fourth chart. Her name is Kathy Wood. So she is a great inspiration for me on how you look at companies, how you evaluate companies, and how you invest in companies for the future. So, as time goes by, how I look at myself and my career unfolding is, in another probably 5-10 years, uh, especially in an IT industry which is fast changing, uh, a career might be for me probably another 5 to 10 years, right? Beyond that, I plan to be to invest today, like as I told you, invest today for your tomorrow. What I'm doing today is investing in learning stock market and evaluation of companies, so that tomorrow I can have a career in terms of picking stocks and investing in the right place and making an income out of trading in the stock market. So yeah, so from that perspective, Kathy Wood is a great inspiration. From the perspective of becoming a strong sales operations person, Sheryl Sandberg is my inspiration. Yeah. So these are the various inspirations that I have. Thank you. Yeah. Archana, Ashwati, Angelina, Namita, thank you. Okay. So, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
What's
Okay.
next?
So, sir, it was a very wonderful session. Really, it was very nice. So, I would like to invite our student coordinator, Miss Pinky Raphy, third year student, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Sure.
Hello, Pinky. Sir, sorry for the inconvenience. I think there are some technical issues.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. This is not very normal things in all online meetings.
Yes, sir, we always have this problem.
Yeah, yeah. Not only you, I also have these problems. Yeah, it's normal, don't worry.
Thank you for understanding, sir. Pinky, please unmute yourself. Sir, you have a question in the chat box.
Okay, yeah. Jinol, is there any role for HR in future when it becomes all software based? Of course, see, Jinol, what softwares can do is they can automate certain processes, right? But you always, as an HR, human resource, is for people to interact with people, to say there is any conflicts which happens, HR needs to be involved. Machines cannot do all the works, all the work, right? You need people to interfere and still apply their intelligence and then come to solutions in most of human areas. So HR is one place which can never be taken over by a software. HR field, arts fields, we still love the human touch in all these things, right? But there are other fields like, number crunching, finance. Probably a lot of finance work can be taken over by software, because software can do the number analytics and crunching activities. Marketing, again, you need to understand, and probably 50% can be taken over by the software. But I don't see a lot of work disappearing in the HR or any of those areas which I said. We'll still need people to control the software and keep tweaking and changing the software, right? So yeah, a simple answer is no. HR is going to be very relevant in the future, and the role of HR in India is going to be huge, because there are many new age companies with new inventions and innovations coming up in various fields. Especially, I see that happening in USA and a little bit in China too. So all these companies are going to set up shop in India, and they will definitely need HR. So the demand for HR is going to increase in the coming years, as I see it. Thank you. How can we decrease our stress while we enter into interview sessions? Okay, Archana, that's an interesting question, because the only way, as far as I know, okay, to decrease stress. Say I have stage fright. When I go in front of the stage, my throat becomes dry, I start sweating, I start trembling. How can I cure it? Only by practice. So one of my requests probably to the teachers here is, give the students as many opportunities as possible to go up on stage and speak mock speeches. You have to do it, because that's the only way you can develop. Pediyana karan adakka samajju. We should have the fear. We will have a fear of stage. Many of us, okay, which is natural, right? Don't cry about it. But college is the place where you should fail and fail and fail and try again, get up, do it. Similarly, mock interviews should be happening in colleges, in my opinion. There should be a panel which is constantly conducting mock interviews, and whichever student wants to go through the interview process should go as many times as they should, especially in the management institutes. That's what gives you the confidence. So the only way to succeed is to fail, Archana. To be frank, if you are willing to fail, one day you will succeed. If you are not willing to fail, like I said, if you take the action, you will get a result of the action. If you don't take an action, that also you will get. So if I say, oh, I am too shy, I don't talk, I will not go in front of an interview panel. So you are not willing to take a risk, right? So that is also inaction. The fruits of action and the fruits of inaction are both for you to enjoy or go through the pain, either way. So you have to fail, and you have to be open to that risk, and you have to be vulnerable and take risks. Don't be too shy in life, is what I would say. Go out there, fail, no problem. You went to the stage, you could not complete your song, you could not complete your speech, no problem. I failed, good. Go again, fail 100 times, then you will succeed. But don't be shy to fail. So, Anvia, another good question. Did I know what I have to do at a young age? Answer is a clear no. For me, things just happened, and I'm sure it will happen to all of you as well. You might have big plans, but on the way, your plans, your destiny will keep changing, and you will soon realize a lot of things are not in your hand. Okay, like I started off thinking, of course, engineering is something I wanted to do. By then, everybody was, by the time I graduated, everybody was going into IT in India. So I also just followed the crowd, went into IT. From IT, by some luck, I moved into operations and management. And today, if you ask me what I plan to do, in my opinion, I plan to work for a few more years, probably in the operation space. But whatever comes, you have no say. Sometimes a good opportunity will come up. You might be right there at the right time. You will pick it up and you will run. But my plan is to become a good stock trader today, right? And that is also a great profession, and it requires a lot of focus and a lot of learning. And as I said, it requires you to fail many times, right? So today I probably, I'm able to lose some money and fail in the stock market, but I know how to reduce, take the risk but reduce the risk as well. So at different points in time, you will have different plans, but destiny will have probably another plan for you. But that does not mean you should not plan for what you see as your future, but let it play out. When things happen, allow it to happen as well. Did COVID affect your business career? How do you manage it? What did you do to make it stable? See, sometimes you should know how to take advantage of COVID as well. So what happened during COVID is in the business, many people could not travel. So I came up with an idea because there was a lot of budget. When people don't travel, what happens? Money is not spent. That means there is budget. So you try to take a situation. One is, of course, you can cry saying that I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to do that. But what I probably did is I said, since you have budget, I have an idea. I want to create a communication magazine for my company. And then I went ahead and created a magazine for the company because there was a lot of funds available for me to do that. So what you do in situations is you have to accept situations when situations are tough, right? If you have to go through it, you have to go through it. Second, you ask the question, what best can I do in the given situation? And think through and come up with an idea which can work in the given situation, right? How do you define success? I think you guys are giving me a tough interview question here. So success is different for different people and different at different times in your life, right? So for a baby, when it is born, probably taking its first step can be success. Running can be success. Scoring in school can be success. So that is one way to look at success, right? Again, everything has many aspects. There is not one single aspect of success, right? So is your family life a success, right? That is one area. So, the way I typically look at life. So this is going to a little different line, and I hope this is okay. This is more getting into a little philosophical aspect of how I look at life, and I hope it's okay with the teachers here, right? It was not part of my initial plan. Okay. So if you look at life, okay, there are four aspects typically in life. One is your physical aspect, right? Are you healthy? Right? And what are you doing to be healthy? Are you getting good food? Are you getting good sleep? Are you doing your right exercise? and are you fit? One thing I notice with my daughter, and I think girls at this age, okay, girls at this age, is they are always on the mobile phone or the laptop. They do not go out and walk, they don't run, they don't play, they don't exercise. This is one lesson I hope girls. I know boys also at this age, they stop playing, they just go around partying or go around in their bikes and etc. But especially girls, they stop moving physically. Physical activity reduces a lot once they get into college. Okay, you need to still focus on sports and health and yoga and body fitness, etc. Okay, for girls, I'm telling you this because it's through the woman that the human race continues, and they need to be very fit. So the Fit India movement, or whatever movement, take some inspiration, become fit. Okay, one is physical aspect of success by being fit and having the right sleep and diet. Second aspect is about your mental, emotional aspects. Do you have the right kind of friends? Have your good relationships with your parents? Are you happy, feeling happy? The feeling of happiness. Your existence should be happy. So what you should do towards that, you could meditate, you could look at music, you could go to closer to nature, etc. So be emotionally happy. That is one aspect of success. The third aspect of success is intellectual success. Are you learning something every day? Or are you looking at Facebook and watching movies every day? Are you developing? If you do not act, you have to be responsible. If you act, that is also your responsibility. So intellectually, are you growing? That is the third aspect of success. And the fourth aspect of success is spiritual aspect of success, right? Through your meditations, through your prayers, through becoming a person who can help others. So this is another aspect of success. And then there is the monetary job aspects as well, which is the final aspect of success. So all these are how I define success. So success is not one thing, it is a lot many things, because human being is not one thing, human being is many things at the same time, right? Okay, backup plan. Archana Pradeep, yes, my backup plan is learning the stock market and trading, so that if I lose my job, I still know how to survive in this world. You are responsible for your own plans and your own thought process. So based on your capabilities, you should plan, and some people say while you're in a job, you should still keep looking for other jobs. There's so many people have different ways of backup plans, right? So I have mine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, girls. I hope we had a nice time.
Yes, sir, we had. Really, we had. Actually, our girls got enough answers and enough insight about all the questions they asked on you. Okay, sir, so I would like to invite again our student coordinator, Pinky, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pinky Raphy, and here to present a vote of thanks for today's speaker. I would like to thank Professor Abhilash Ramachandra for enlightening us with your knowledge. He gave me insight into the topic and also sharing some interesting facts and sure.
Excuse me, Pinky.
Yeah, ma'am.
Pinky, I think your network has some major problems, so it's okay. We will wind up by this. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, sir, so we shall disclose the meeting now.
Thank you. Have a great future, all of you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.